Hey, everybody. Now, this one is aimed at Canadians in particular, Americans to a large degree as well. And the topic is the difference between the Canadian personality and the American personality. Canadians in particular love to talk about this and how different they are. Really? We're not as different as we like to say that we are. Here's the big test, Canada and Canadians. If someone asks you, to define the typical Canadian personality, the Canadian identity. Can you do so without once, not even once, mentioning America or comparing yourself and ourselves to Americans? Because not very many people that I have asked can do that. It's always nicer than, better than, this something than America. Well, that's pretty pathetic. You should be able to define yourselves without any reference to anyone else. First of all, before you can say you've got the best country in the world, the best city in the world, the best police force, the best restaurants, blah, 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 you have to have gone and lived somewhere else. How can you compare and make statements like that if you spent 30 or 40 years in your country, but you've only spent like a week or 2 weeks visiting on a tour or a cruise some other country? You have to live there and get to know their culture, their sense of humor, their cuisine, their habits. And I did. I lived in the UK, in England, for about 3 years, long time ago, back in the 70s. But I learned some very interesting things about Canadians, Americans, and all the other tourists that flow through the big cities like London. And that's what I'm going to talk about in a series of videos. Come back to the channel. This is a short, but under the playlist called Editorials and Opinions, you will see a number of longer videos on this same topic. Canadian versus American personality, part 1, 2, 3, etc. And do me a favor. If this steams you up, and I'm sure it will if you're Canadian, I'd like to hear why you disagree with me, because I'm sure a lot of people will disagree with me. I'm as Canadian as anybody else. I was born and bred here. Second generation. Both my grandfathers were from the UK. You don't get more Canadian than I am, but at least I'm not afraid to call a spade a spade. Come back and see why I'm making that statement. Thanks for watching.